And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Joining us now, our great friend Tim Behrens, back in action one more time. Say it ain't so. The run is over.
Hi, Kevin. I don't know. You know, actors never retire. They just go on and on and on ad-libbing. So I look forward to the performance. It's the best of McManus, and it's going to be a kind of an informal, a different kind of performance in certain parts, because I'm also going to use some of the things I've written over the years about back scenes, backstage gossip. What happens when you're touring? It's pretty eye-opening, I think, for people who don't do this job. But it has been 25 years. This will be my 20th performance in Nampa. So, and I'm working on another exciting project which involves McManus and music, and that will be the focus of my work all this coming year. It's
you just can't get enough of McManus.
I think Pat McManus is right up there with Mark Twain. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone who's a Twain lover, but Pat doesn't get enough credit. He's been given just about every award there is, and his books have sold more than 5 million copies. And the stage play, we just passed more than 500,000 people in terms of total audiences over the 25 years in the 1,600 shows. So I think he's a wonderful writer, and I can't say enough about him. I've taken 25 years of my life to get his words out there, and I'm trying to be for Pat McManus what Hal Holbrook was for Mark Twain. Get the word out.
I'm amazed. The best of Patrick F. McManus starring Tim Behrens. Tim Behrens with us here at KIDO Talk Radio. You're going to be in Nampa Friday night, 7:30 to 10 o'clock at the Nampa Civic Center. You said your 20th appearance in Nampa. And first, to do a one-person play, a one-man play is amazing, number one. Number two, let's talk about the crowd in Nampa. Obviously, people remember you, Tim, from your times with John and Chris here at KIDO Talk Radio and your times within our community. What will you remember about Nampa? Now, I know, like you said, you'll probably be back, but as of right now, if this was your final time in Nampa, what would it be like for you?
It's always I'm contemplating semi-retirement. As you get older, it gets a little there's a story about people thinking that touring life is exciting and scintillating and something for famous people. Actually, touring life is really, really hard. The performing is the least part of it, but it's driving hour after hour. So for me, it's to slow down a little is a good thing. Because I've given it my all. Each performance, I'm completely exhausted. Somebody once asked how much weight I lost during each show, and I didn't think I lost any weight. But then I actually took a scale to shows early in the runs when I was kind of wondering about that question, and I lose about 2 to 2.5 pounds a night. So just the intensity of this kind of show, one man, and the fact that Pat has written 5 shows for me over the years is quite a bit of an honor, and I always want to pay honor to that. And the Nampa audiences have been absolutely fantastic. I think of the 20 shows, 17 of them have sold out, and I don't know. That's a great percentage for people to keep coming back or to bring new people with them. I think that the last show I was there on the end of September, a family came up after backstage, and they had sons and daughters of, it was the grandchildren the grandparents who had first seen the show 25 years ago when they weren't grandparents. So it's kind of like a great family tradition in a way.
Indeed. Tim Behrens joining us here. Kevin Miller in the morning on KIDO Talk Radio. Most of us, we don't get to live our dream. Have you lived your dream, and what would you say to people that would love to pursue their dream that are listening to us right now here at KIDO Talk Radio? What would you say to them?
That's a really important question, especially for kids. Sometimes they have acting classes, and I have students who they get discouraged easily. If you can't deal with rejection, then acting and the arts actually is not a good place for you, because you can expect. My mom was a professional actress in Hollywood for 50 years, Amity Strickland, and she used to say that, she would go to as many as 10 to 20 auditions a week, and she used to say, if I get one every 3 weeks, that's the average. That's what I'm shooting for. But that means that 30 or 40 times people are telling you, we don't want you. We don't want you. That's not working for us. So it's a hard profession. But yes, living your dream is important, knowing that you're going to fail. It's only through failure that you realize success. So it's a great learning ground for the main battles in life. Get prepared for them. And I hope that kids understand that. Sometimes in the acting class, I think people think that they're going to do something, they're going to go to Hollywood, and they're going to get famous. I grew up in Hollywood, and I've seen many, many, many of those stories not come to pass. So it's just a matter of persistence. Being in the right place at the right time helps. That helps. And not taking yourself too seriously. I think that's a lot of stars end up doing that.
Well, you believe your own hype. So, Tim, let's talk a little bit about Friday night. Give us a preview and if why people should come see you.
They want to laugh. People should come see me.
We need a laugh these days, that's for sure.
Yeah, we need laughs. There's an epidemic of laughlessness creeping across the country. I don't know if you've noticed, Kevin. By the way, I have to divert for a second. John and Chris, are they still around at all? You brought back, those were great interviews they did, and sometimes we had a lot of fun together, and they were great people. Did you know them?
I met Chris, and John unfortunately passed away a few years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Back to why people should come and see us.
Sure.
One of the things is laughter. Victor Borgo once said, laughter is the closest distance between two people. And I am a firm believer that laughter is the best medicine. And I've performed and made people laugh at nursing homes and, all over. And I've seen the blood come to people's faces and their breathing improve. And when they leave the theater, it's such an honor for me to shake their hands on the way out because their faces are shiny. They've obviously been smiling and laughing so much that their faces are hurting. Some of them are massaging their cheeks. And it's great. I almost want to say that my job is to make people hurt. But if they laugh a lot, they will. And there's been several incidents. I take a couple of them. Once I was in Hood River, and we did the performance, and Pat was out signing books. And this woman comes up to me, and I noticed in the front row, she had sat in the front row. It was a sold-out house, and there was an empty seat next to her. And it was just her purse and sweater on that seat next to her, and I noticed it during the performance because it was right there in the front row. And then afterwards, she came up and thanked me for the performance. I shook her hand, and I said, "Oh, your date didn't show up." And she said, "Oh, yes, he did." I said, "Oh, I didn't see anyone there." And she said, "No, probably not, because 5 years ago, you came through Hood River with the first show, Final Pleasant Misery. And my husband and I promised each other, that was our first date. And we promised each other when you came back that we'd come to your next show. And my husband died a year ago in an accident. And he was sitting there next to me tonight." And the profundity of that struck me. I mean, she laughed and laughed and laughed until tears were coming down her face, and that was a very special moment for her. And that's the way laughter can touch people. That's what I try to do, and that's why living the dream is so important, because you get opportunities like that. And I try and make those opportunities each night. One of the people that said, one of the audience members said, once that you give me the opportunity to you put my dreams, my aspirations, and even the people in my family on stage with you. And that's Pat's clever writing. He doesn't write full descriptions of the characters. I just change my voice slightly, change my posture slightly,
right,
and I become one of the 30 characters I play. And the rest of it, the audience gets to fill in because we're dealing with their grandparents. People have a rancid Crabtree in their family. They have a Melba Peachbottom in their family. They have an Olga Bone Marrow in their family. And we just use those memories that people have. People let us in long enough to fill in the white spaces, and then they fill in the rest with laughter. Sometimes, I'm telling you, Kevin, the laughter is so loud, it hurts my ears when I'm on stage. And I've never seen anything like that. I'm so lucky. I've never seen anything like that on stage. I mean, yeah, there's people that provoke laughter, but this is just, sometimes it gets quite rowdy.
Well, we're going to look forward to some rowdiness Friday night. Tim Behrens, the best of Pat McManus. God bless, sir.
Thank you. I want to thank all the crew at Nampa Civic Center for doing what they have done over the years to make me feel, really special. They even give me a dressing room, Kevin.
Well, look, that's good. You don't want any free samples in the hallways. So.
Okay. You keep the faith. Nice talking with you.
God bless, Tim. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. KIDO Talk Radio time is 8:20. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. So we have people that are outraged that President Trump said something about Elizabeth Warren, and let's go to the videotape.
We have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
So he called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. Senator Warren of Massachusetts falsely claimed that she was Native American during a campaign. It was later found out that she had misled the public on this, and the president has called her Pocahontas before. Now, he said it before the Navajo code breakers who are being honored at the White House, and we have the usual reaction from, the several list of suspects who say that this is unheard of, this is horrible, and the president is a bad person.
I think what most people find offensive is Senator Warren lying about her heritage to advance her career.
There you have it, Sarah Sanders defending the president. Senator Warren, what do you think?
It is deeply unfortunate that the President of the United States cannot even make it through a ceremony honoring these heroes without having to throw out a racial slur.
There we have it. The president said a racial slur. And really what it comes down to is, and this is an east of the Great River thing, people there call people names. The president cannot help himself. Does that excuse his actions? No, he got no credit for doing this. But the president spent a lot of time with the World Wrestling Federation, the World Wrestling Entertainment, and he loves to poke his enemies. Now, is Pocahontas a racial slur? And now that is the lead story on not only national newscast but local newscast. Shows you just that Trump isn't aggravating everybody. He is, how should we put it, he's manipulating them. He knew that this would get under their goat, and so he does this. He's the only person that we've ever seen that continues to stoke the media outrage because he's not fearful of them, like other Republicans and other Democrats. By the way, what's a bigger deal? President Trump calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, which is, again, a shot at her for making up the phony heritage, or Al Franken saying, look, I'm a bad Al Franken. I promise to be a good Al Franken, and I won't grope people again. And then we have John Conyers, who, along with others, $15.2 million has gone into these slush funds. And by the way, and it's available on the Kevin Miller Show Facebook page, a watchdog group has said, look, we want the names of the people that have been using this slush fund. And I think that's perfectly okay. And I think, quite frankly, we should know the names of every congressman that has dipped into the slush fund to quash sexual harassment stories and use our taxpayer dollars. It's up to $17 million to pay off sexual harassment claims. And this is from the Foundation for Accountability and Civil Trust, or FACT. I mean, when we're paying out $17 million, what does that say about the behavior of people in Congress? This is what the Freedom of Information Act, they've filed a FOIA request. Sadly, it's just come to light that for years the government spent millions in taxpayers' dollars to try to quietly make sexual misconduct by lawmakers go away. This is an affront to all the victims as well as taxpayers. I would agree with that. You know, we should know who these people are, right? 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Let's get you to work safely and on time. And we go to Cindy in Caldwell with Kevin Miller at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Cindy.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Great show. And I like the gentleman that was speaking to laughter because it really ties into medicine. And, you know, when you get joyous and laughing, you know, you do stir up in your brain healthy endorphins. And, you know, that said, a lot of that is personal choice. You know, I will just watch sometimes because in my era, I like, you know, good comedy, Abbott and Costello and Laurel and Hardy, Laverne and Shirley. And, you know, I can stir up in getting laughing. And that's true. And that's your responsibility, you know. Just like the chiropractic doctor said, there's so many alternatives. It's not big pharma. I can assure you, when I was in the hospital, you know, for 7 days with a septic pneumonia, making no symptoms of that pneumonia, I had a morphine pump, and I was grateful. I was a hospice nurse, the judicial use of morphine, not to stop respirations. But, you know, you have to understand, I've been to a dentist once and pulling a tooth who gave me a prescription for so much Percocet is ridiculous, and I brought the prescription to my own dentist afterward. He did a lousy job, and he shredded the prescription. I took a Tylenol. So individual responsibility with choosing, you know, other alternative medicine. You know, Treasure Valley has a great, and in Caldwell, they have doctors, you know, every month giving seminars. You know, we have a new doctor. Dr. Bradley gave a pain seminar on the back care. I learned even as a nurse great things that you can do. You know, for, you know, spinal stenosis, including stem cell.
What about the sexual harassment stuff, Cindy?
Oh, I'm just so done with that. But I agree with you. I mean, they are so sin sick that I can't even go there because you know what? I'm not putting my spirit into something I can butt change. I can't do a thing about their choice of behavior because that's individual responsibility. And you just like an addiction, you're going to have to learn how to deal with that. It's always been out there since day one, since the fall, where people are going to choose behaviors that necessarily aren't moral. And I'm not going to upset myself any longer and get angry and bitter and all upset over all this. So, yeah, it's out there. You have to take some individual responsibility and stop just relying on how your feelings are your next best thing that your brain may tell you.
Well, I mean,
want
look at
to.
that, $17 million
Yeah, I hear
of taxpayer money.
Does that surprise you with all the other waste of money? Why did you think we got a Donald Trump elected? I mean, look at some of the, you know, big, you know, what he's trying to come against with the waste of money. That doesn't surprise me at all. Does that actually surprise you, people's sin-sick nature? Doesn't surprise me.
Well, you would be a cynic instead of an optimist then.
Oh, I'm not cynical at all. I am a
well,
total
you just said
about,
that would surprise you.
No, I am just a total realist about human nature since the fall. We are so, you know, outside the Garden of Eden, how, you know, people, you know, they're not rising to their best, whether it be morally or in other ways. So I can't change anyone except on an individual basis. That's why, you know,
well,
I put my...
Here's another one. They should be thrown out of office.
They should be thrown out of office. Well, you know, you got to get people to go to the voting polls to put good people into office, and I think your blue-collar worker just did that with our last presidential election to try to help them to be accountable. But, you know, it's just such a cesspool down there. That doesn't surprise me. So every day on an everyday basis, you know, I call my senators and representatives and do what I can do, but I'm sure not going to lose any sleep over their behavior. That's for sure.
Cindy, thank you.
Well, you have a great day, Kevin.
Hey, thank you for calling in at KIDO Talk Radio, ma'am.
Don't forget to laugh. Bye-bye.
Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie.
Good.
And KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO, and just trying to make sense of the nonsense, if you will. And, why don't we just go to Tea Party Bob, who joins us now from the Gem State Patriot. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Miller. How are you this morning?
I'm living the dream.
You are always living the dream. Just hope it doesn't turn into a nightmare. You know,
Well-
what the heck has happened to this country when we allow elected officials to get away with having a fund to pay for complaints about sexual harassment? We've hit a new low in government accountability. And I hope that everyone who has used the fund in the past is exposed in the public eye. It's high time we started to clean out the swamp that we call Congress and take the garbage out in the next election. And I want to thank you for having Russ Fulcher on this morning, as he is one of the few thoughtful politicians who actually thinks before he opens his mouth, unlike so many of the other candidates who are running for office. We need more people like him running for office, especially in our state. We have an opportunity to clean house, so to speak, in Idaho State House this coming primary election and put some real conservative representatives up for office. It seems all of the wannabes are running for higher office, and with a little luck, they're not going to get elected. We have our own swamp right here in Idaho, and the crony establishment is going to pull all the plugs to make sure they hold control of the taxpayers' purse strings. Otherwise, they'll all be out of business. So let's hope the citizens of Idaho understand that if you don't go to the polls and vote, we all get the government we deserve.
Well, you're going to be at Idaho Chooses Life, aren't you, on Friday night?
I look forward to seeing you on Friday night at the Idaho Chooses Life annual dinner. I will be counting heads of the politicians who all say they're pro-life but never show themselves at the annual rally at the Boise Mall.
Well, no, you're going to have, apparently you're going to have your own table.
Well, yeah, for what that is, I don't spend much time at the table anyway, since I usually don't eat. I'll be wandering around most of the time.
Right. I mean, I wonder who's going to be at your table.
A lot of Liberty folks.
Right. Wow.
We're just going to have Liberty folks there. I'm going to hang around with you because you seem to get a lot of attention there.
What does that mean?
Well, everybody seems to like the way you run that show there.
Well, I just get out of people's way. And like I said, for people that are not familiar with this event, it's at Eagle Christian Church. It's wonderful, and it's really inspiring. And to hear the speakers, to see Ken Corbin and the guys from Corbin Auction really get into it, and you get some great deals on some wonderful gifts for a great cause.
Well, you know, it takes a lot to put something like this on, and I have to congratulate David for all the hard work that he does. I think that if we had more events like this, people might be a little bit more involved in what's actually going on and bring awareness to things like pro-life or different problems that we have here in Boise. But we just don't have enough of these events. Maybe you and I should start our own event. What do you think?
I don't know what would we call it.
Well, the K. Millie Militia event.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring that up. I'm thinking about bringing back the company Christmas party.
That's an idea.
And that's where we invite everybody in. And I'm just wondering if we should do it at the broadcast center or we should try and do it at a remote location for people.
Whatever you do, I'll be there.
You believe that's a good idea, though? I mean, it does get out of hand. I mean, it's good. You know, the broadcast center is great, but I mean, if you live in Nampa or Caldwell or Meridian, then you got to drive all the way in. So I don't know, but I am thinking about bringing that back, and hopefully we'll get some more good feedback on that.
Well, let me know if you do. I look forward to it. I used to look forward to it every year, so I'm ready to go.
Well, it might be time to bring that back. I'm just feeling festive this year.
Go get it, my friend. I'm with you.
Will you sing?
Absolutely.
Well, good.
Absolutely. For you, I'll sing for my supper.
Well, thank you, sir.
I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Friday night at the Idaho Chooses Life annual dinner.
God bless. Thank you, Tea Party Bob.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller in the morning here. As we continue on, we go to Two Fly Bry. Good morning.
Yeah, I think we should have that Christmas party again, and we have a sing-off between Bob and I again, and see what happens.
Well, you made what was that treat that you made?
It was breakfast sausage thing. I forgot what it's called.
That was really good.
Yeah, well, I plan on making that again, bringing it out.
Well, should we have it here at the broadcast center, or should we go somewhere else?
We could go somewhere else. Sure, that would be, and allow more people to come, make it a more breakfasty kind of thing, even.
Yeah, I don't know if we should have it out or here. Here it gets kind of cramped.
It does, and you'd have a little bit more open space somewhere else.
Yeah. Well,
hey,
I think we've just been missing something, so.
Yeah, I think we need to have that again and just and see people come around and say hi and share some good Christian Christmas love.
And singing, lots of singing.
Lots of singing, too. Yeah, I got another thing if you got a moment.
Okay.
So there was on a local news channel last night about riders or rideshare programs like Uber and Lyft and drivers being given tickets downtown for letting their passengers off or stopping in the middle of the road, if you will, on 8th Street or on 6th Street.
Sure.
To pick up their passengers, and they interviewed some guy, Brandon Phillips, I believe. And what I found out, I did a little back research on that. They didn't put the full story out there. He actually was given a ticket, and he challenged it. He did a discovery in court. The police officer said that he was backing up traffic. There were vehicles behind him. La la la. The officer had his camera on, and there wasn't a single vehicle behind him the whole way. And he was actually walking down the street after he told the guy to drive up there and turn over, and I'll give you a ticket.
I don't know how we've gone from the Christmas party to this, but so be it.
Well, these are local things. We want to celebrate. See, we come to parties like this, you can get an Uber Lyft down there,
right.
And back and stuff like that, all the good fun stuff. So it's just, putting it all together.
As you should. To Flyby, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. You just never know who's going to call in today, and thankfully she's on Twitter. Our great friend Maggie O'Mara from Channel 7 joining us this morning. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning. How are you, Kevin?
I was watching Channel 7 last night and this morning, as I do all the time, and I'm amazed that, you had this great shopping spree. You were involved in it this year. You had all the stars of Channel 7, Brian, Jay, Kim, and yourself, all for a great cause at Fred Meyer, where you guys compete to see who can put the most stuff in for the kids, and just trying to figure out who won.
I think we won. I think Tim and I won. I can't be sure. The boys say they won. But really who won are the kids in our community who will get help from the Salvation Army this year for holiday toys. We had 2 minutes, Kevin, to gather as many toys as we could in our carts, and we got as many carts as we needed, which was really fun. And it is chaos. I mean, we made the biggest mess over there. I apologize to the employees after because you're just grabbing stuff off the shelves. You're dropping Barbies and Nerf guns along the way. And we just had so much fun. We really compete. We get super competitive about it.
Well, I could tell by watching the story. In fact, I had to rewatch it a few times. And this has been going on for years with Fred Meyer and the Salvation Army and Channel 7. And I don't know, Maggie, I'm sure you've done it before, but this is the first time that I've caught you doing it. What was it like, though? Again, you're having fun, but as you said, it's for such a great, worthy cause.
Oh, it is. Fred Meyer, shout out to Fred Meyer, by the way. $6,000 worth of toys they allow us to pick out, which is just incredible. So we try to get as many as we can for all different age groups, but really you're in the thick of it, and you only have 2 minutes. So you want to get as many as you can, right? Because they all go to the Toy and Joy shop there at the Salvation Army. It just feels so good to do it. The adrenaline rush you get and the high from gathering all these toys, it's kind of a dream come true from when you were a kid. Can you imagine taking a cart through a store and getting whatever you want, as much of it as you want? So I feel like I'm a kid at heart when I do it. It's a lot of fun.
No, it was great. It really came across that way. And, as we get ready for, the big event of the year when it comes to charitable giving, Idaho Share 7 Cares Day. That's a great responsibility. I'm so, when we take a look at this business, and Maggie, you've been doing this, you're a wily veteran of this. We kid ourselves about it, but your organization that comes through and the volunteering, the hours, the extra hours that the employees at Channel 7 do, along with your partners and everything else for this event, it's huge. And the idea that so many hours of live television, which is incredibly easy to say, difficult to do, go for such a great cause. It's like the Super Bowl for giving.
Yeah, oh, it is. And it's coming up December 9th, and everyone can be a part of it. I'm sure you're coming out, Kevin, because you always do to help out. But we're going to have a ball. It's just we'll be at all these locations of Fred Meyer and all these other spots around the community. We have so many spots that will be at the Boise State, and we have, Albertson Stadium, all these locations. And we'll be sure to fill in our viewers throughout the next week or so before we go live on the morning of December 9th. But it is so much fun. And people from the community donate food and money, and just the totals we've been able to gather over the years have just been incredible. It's just remarkable what we've been able to do with the help of the community, though. I mean, no one can do anything alone. It takes an entire community to pull this off.
No, I'm with you on that. And, I'm always at Boise State with Mark. I'd love to be with you guys. I don't know if you and Doug can come out and visit us. I know Larry's in Twin, and it's all over. Logistically, it's a challenge. And now here's the funny thing, and all kidding aside, Mark Johnson wants me to appear as the turkey. I don't know if I can pull it off.
You have to. You have to. That is my favorite thing ever. That turkey suit. Where do you store that? That's in your house? Or do you rent it every year? Where do you get something like that?
This is why
I'm so curious.
The hard-hitting
Do you wear it
questions
around for the wife on actual turkey day? I mean, what goes into that?
I thought I was asking you. So I get the Maggie O'Mara endorsement. I should wear that on 7 Cares Day.
Oh, you should. That's my favorite thing. It is so cute. It's adorable. You need to wear it.
There you go.
I bet you will garner even more donations. I just spotted a number here from the total meals provided over the years from 7 Cares, 4,743,933.
Wow.
That's how many meals have been provided because of this community and the donations that come in on that special day. That's incredible. That really makes an impact.
And this is where you can be a part of it. We urge you to take part in 7 Cares. Maggie, how you been? Last time I talked, I think you're a mom of 3. Now you're a mom of 4. It's been a while. The changes in your life, how's that going?
Everything's going great. Yes,
Yeah.
I had another baby boy last year, and he's a big joy and just fits right in with everybody else. His name's McCormick. We call him Big Mac because he's a big baby. We call him Big Mac and Big Baby. It's pretty cute. But he's just so sweet and just a joy. I'm just very blessed.
No, we love following you on social media, and of course, your great works with Seven's Heroes, something that is close to all our hearts. Are those stories tough to do? And I'm sorry I know you've got to go eventually back to your day job, but it's been a while since we've had our morning chat here. But
I know it has been a while.
That's the shame on me for that.
It is tough to do. It takes a toll, but you know what? The 7 Cares can be very emotional. I'm sure you've noticed that when you watch them at home. A lot of people tell me they bring them to tears on a weekly basis. And really, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's just that the stories just do that, if you know what I'm saying. They just kind of flow out of my fingertips, and the people are the ones who really have those emotions that we all feel so strongly. And, yes, they are tough to actually go out, meet, and shoot a lot of the times because, I cry when I'm there, and my cameraman might cry or camera woman, whoever I'm with that day. And it's just it tugs at the heartstrings. And I know when I cry at a shoot that people are going to be crying at home on Sundays at 10 because it really does touch the heart. But we want to get awareness for certain things. We're trying to gather donations for things. We're trying to help people. So it really is the best part of my job, as tough as it can be sometimes.
Amazing work, Maggie O'Mara. We appreciate you taking time to hang out with us.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Kevin. And you're the best. And I look forward to seeing you in that turkey suit on 7 Cares Idaho Shares, which is coming up December 9th. If you don't wear that turkey suit, I'm going to be very disappointed. No pressure. No pressure.
Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Belated, yes.
Can you say that to a turkey? I don't know. I don't know if that's a nice thing to say.
Better to give a turkey than be a turkey.
That's so true. Speaking of which, Kevin, how many turkeys did you gather?
We gathered over 900, and we raised $36,000.
My goodness. You are a hero. That's incredible.
Well,
that's incredible. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Just like with y'all, it's all about the community and the people that made a difference. And, we're just trying to reflect their generosity.
It is, but people like you getting out there and gathering it up, that's who make it happen. If nobody is going to dress in the turkey suit and do that, they're not going to get those turkeys. So kudos to you.
I can tell that turkey suit has made an impact on you.
Oh, it has. We love it over here. We talk about it all the time. We're like, oh, that Kevin Miller is so cute in that suit. So keep it going. But is it in your house? I need to know. Do you rent it?
Yes,
I'm so curious.
No, it's in my house. It's like,
well, good, then we'll see it.
It's kind of like Batman when I have a thing that it's, I click the thing and I get into it. Yes.
See, we'll get to see it every year. Next year we need a turkey car to go with the turkey suit.
I'll work on that, Maggie. Thank you.
Work on that. Cardboard works wonders.
Maggie O'Mara, thank you very much, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye, Kevin.
Bye-bye. The one, the only, Maggie O'Mara joining us here at KIDO Talk Radio. You're listening to Kevin Miller. Coming up next, more of your phone calls. Bob wants to talk about Uber and pro-life returns. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And thank you, Ramaya, for that rejoiner. Let's go back to the phones. Bob in Meridian, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller.
Hi, Kevin. Hey, I just wanted one thing before the Uber. I just wanted to thank you for your awareness of melanoma. And, I heard the commercials on it so many times, I finally had a little spot on my face. And I went into my doctor, and he sent me to the, skin doctor. And the spot on my face was not cancerous, but she found precancerous spots on my arms that she burned off. So there was like 5 or 6 of them, but I wasn't even aware of them. So thanks for your message about that. And I'm an Uber driver, and I don't like to go downtown, but sometimes I do because it's so hectic. Kids are walking out in front of my car. It's hard to pick them up. But for the taxis and Lyft and Uber, I think the police should just have a little bit more understanding. I trying to find a guy a couple of weeks ago, and finally I'm going really slow because you can't go fast. When you turn, you have to go in like 1 mile an hour. These kids walk right out in front of you, and the guy's waving at me. He's coming across, so I just stopped right there, and then right away a police officer's come over. Hey, you can't park here. Here's the parking place. Don't you know how to park? And I'm saying, sir, the man's coming over right now. And he just went on and on. I thought he was going to give me a ticket, but finally he just, get out of here. And I just think their attitude should be a little bit more thankful that we're there picking these people up who are not driving home drunk, a little bit more slack. And I do appreciate your show, and have a great week.
Bob, good to hear you. You caught that precancer, skin cancer. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I did. And I gave a turkey. Wasn't a turkey.
Good for you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Bob. Let's get you to traffic and weather. And Pro-Life will finish us out here at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Pro-Life.
Yeah, you just had that little clip there on about the senator from Massachusetts, Pocahontas, and, she's alleged, she says it's a family legend that she's part Native American. And so I don't think she's being honest about it. And so that's why they call her Pocahontas. It has nothing to do with racial slur. But why I say that is because our whole society is just full of lies. People can say anything, and they think they can get away with it. And I would like to see our state legislators bring in some laws in the next legislature punishing people that lie. And I don't think they'll do it, but because maybe lots of them like to lie themselves. But anyway, lying is a serious offense. It's one of the 10 Commandments.
So you're saying you would want them to pass a law against lying?
Right. I mean, when you're under oath on the stand of a court and you lie, then that's called perjury. That's supposedly the only time you're not supposed to lie. That's the time you can get punished for lying. Well, I'm saying you should get punished for lying all over the place.
All right, there's the truth in that, brother. Ray, great job. God bless, and keep the faith.